You open your phone and there are so many young people who accomplished so much. Nara Smith is only 24 years old and she already has everything. She has a house, a family, a social media career. Mr. Beast is only 27 years old and his net worth is estimated to be around 2 or over $2 billion. Then you scroll on TikTok and you see a 19-year-old millionaire with a successful business. Then you see a 15-year-old actor who just won an Emmy. And all you can think to yourself is how much you failed. And trust me, you are not alone because we've put some crazy expectations on ourselves and we decided that 25 is some sort of finish line and you are either successful at this age or you're not. And if you're not, nothing you'll ever do will ever be success.
It's like anything that I feel like I achieve past this point almost like doesn't matter, like is not remarkable. And, I just can't help but feel like anything that I do past this point now, it's like, yeah, but you weren't under 25 when you achieved it.
And I think that's because we see so many people praised for accomplishing things very young. Look at Owen Cooper, who was 15 years old, I believe, when he won his first Emmy for adolescence. He was like widely praised on the internet because he was the youngest man to ever win this prize. Great for him. That's a great success. But then you look at Erin Doherty, who was 33 years old when she won her Emmy. It was also her first Emmy. It was also for adolescence. But in my opinion, she wasn't as praised for it online, and I think that was because she wasn't 15. Still, in my opinion, it's a great accomplishment, and 33 is still young. She still has an amazing career ahead of her. She's just on a different path than Owen. And who's really to judge which path is better and which one of them will be or feel more successful in the end? I think we have this kind of mysticized idea of being 25 and needing to have so much accomplished before we turn 25, and I think that is for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think when we were children, when we were in like primary school and we were thinking about our futures, etc., 25 seemed like old, right? When you're like in primary school and you think of someone who's 25, you think, oh, that's like a full-on adult. We expected to have everything figured out by that age, like a family, a house, maybe a business. Everyone has different dreams, but I remember just thinking that by the age of 25, I will have everything I've ever wanted. But then when you reach 25, you realize it's actually super young. I mean, I'm 25 right now, and I feel like my life is just starting. Because think about it, if you moved out of your parents' house at age 18 or 19 and kind of started your life from scratch, especially if you didn't have much financial support from your parents, how do you expect to build an entire life in that short period of time? Like 6 years is really not a lot of time to like save up for a house, let's say. And if you decided to go to university or whatever, that's, another few years that you spent in education instead of like working on your dreams. And yeah, I get it, like being in university for a lot of people is part of working towards their dreams, but still, like it takes up a lot of time. I feel like being 25 is the new 40, where people have like full blown crises over the things that they've accomplished or not accomplished. But my question is, why is everyone in such a hurry? I mean, 25 is not the age for a midlife crisis, not at all. It's the age for discovering yourself and building this life that you want in the future. And it's actually the perfect age to subscribe to my channel. But another reason why we might feel like 25 is old is because that's how it's painted on the internet, right? I mean, we hear a lot of discourse about how like women like lose their attractiveness the moment they turn 25, that you peak in your early 20s, and when you turn 25 you immediately start getting less attractive. And while it may be true in some circles in like real life, in my opinion it's a very online thing to say.
I think when you're like an early 20s or just out of college, or I don't know, like a girl in her mid-20s, you kind of start to feel time passing you by, and you really think that this is it. This is the last time I'm going to be hot. This is the last time I'm going to be able to get men. This is the last time I'll be able to, like, use my beauty to further me in life in any kind of way.
I feel like the internet is overestimating the power of attractiveness because, sure, the beauty privilege exists, the halo effect exists, but it doesn't guarantee success. The fact that you are attractive doesn't guarantee that you are going to attract the love of your life and build a solid relationship with them. I mean, so much more goes into it than just attracting someone with your physical appearance. It also doesn't guarantee a great career or financial success if you don't put in the work that is required, if you don't gain the right skills and qualifications, if you don't, work a lot of hours to, get to where you want to be. Just being attractive doesn't guarantee anything. It can help, but I feel like it's very, very overestimated on the internet. But I think this type of thinking was so normalized on the internet because we saw a lot of people gain a lot of popularity and also a lot of money just because they were attractive. I mean, there were so many Instagram models who all they really did was post selfies and like sponsor posts. We saw men who were making money off thirst traps, etc. So yeah, on the internet, being attractive or beautiful or whatever you want to call it can help, but then again, I feel like that has changed as well. I mean, there are so many creators like on every app, on every site, that just being attractive doesn't guarantee success. You have to provide people with some sort of value, like entertainment, whatever, and just being attractive isn't enough even on the internet nowadays. And outside of the internet, I think it's never been the case. That's why whenever I see someone say that, oh my god, I'm 25 and I'm just no longer attractive because I'm too old to be attractive, I want to yell at them to go touch some grass. This is not true in real life. You can still glow up, or you can stay at the same level of attractiveness after 25. People, whether it's men or women, don't start like magically decomposing the moment they turn 25. But this is once again such an online thing to say, and I feel like in recent years it's been pushed to its limits. I mean, women were always pressured to look young and attractive, but I feel like the same pressure is now also applied to men. Even if you think of how men in their 30s were shown in like film and TV has changed recently. Like, look at this picture, for example. This is Jason Alexander, and that's how he looked when he played a 30-year-old George Costanza. And at the time, in the 90s, it was a completely acceptable way for a 30-year-old character to look like. Now, this is Luke Thompson, who plays a 30-year-old Benedict in Bridgerton, and that's how he looks like. And people were saying that he looks chopped and that he has wrinkles and his hairline is receding and that he looks too old to be playing a character who is 30 years old. But in my opinion, he looks younger than what Jason Alexander looked like when he played a character of the same age. At the same time, we have people who are genuinely shocked at how young 30-year-old people can look like. I mean, I remember so many people on TikTok being shocked when they found out that Alexa Demi is over 30 years old, as if just because she has a 3 at the beginning of her age, it meant that she had to have like deep wrinkles and gray hair. Like, this is a completely normal way for a 30-year-old woman to look like, and we are just kind of mysticizing again being younger than 30 or being younger than 25, and we think that the moment we cross this bridge we are going to start aging rapidly, and that just doesn't happen. Beauty standards on the internet have radicalized, and it's pushing people to do absolutely crazy things to look young. I think we've all seen those girls with like 20-step skincare routines. Maybe some of you have also seen those people who do, in my opinion, absolutely crazy things just to avoid the sun. But nothing beats Lux Maxers. One of the notable creators in this niche, if you will, is obviously Clavicular, who is doing absolutely crazy things. I mean, he's done like bone smashing, which is taking a hammer and like smashing your bones so they grow back stronger or something like this. He's also taking certain substances that I'm not going to name here, but they are supposedly helping him look his best or whatever. And honestly, those are just some of the methods that looks maxers use to look younger and generally better. And I think this is the first time that we are seeing this strong urge in men to fit into the beauty standards. I mean, I feel like men were allowed to exist in the bodies they were given, they were allowed to look the age they really were, but now they are also crumbling under the pressure of beauty standards. There is also more and more discourse around men aging and having wrinkles and looking chopped.
Why is it that men, when they reach 35, 36, all of a sudden just look old?
And all of that adds to the fear of being old, which now seems to be more universal and no longer reserved just to women. And it is also trickling down to younger generations. I mean, we can see on TikTok kids, sometimes as young as 7 years old, having full-on skincare routines because even they are afraid of the repercussions they can face if they start looking old or wrinkled. Because there is almost a moral panic over people who look older than they actually are. Take this girl who posted a TikTok showing her unfiltered skin. People in her comments were immediately giving her skincare recommendations. People were saying that she must be a backpacker or a surfer who doesn't use sunscreen. There were people posting their selfies in the comments and saying, "Oh my god, I'm older than you and this is my skin, like there must be something wrong with you." And there were also people who pretended to care for her, saying that she might get like skin cancer, etc. But in my opinion, they were just trying to hide their vanity and they were enticing this almost moral panic over the fact that someone is fine with looking older than they actually are. Hi, it's me editing, popping in just for a quick word with you because I realized I haven't said something very important here. I personally think she does look her age. Like I told you before, I'm 25 and I look at her and I totally see someone who is my age. However, while preparing this video, I read so many comments saying that she looks older that I think it might have indoctrinated me a little bit. I focused on analyzing the discourse around her because it seems to be like a dominating opinion that she doesn't look 25. So whenever I say that she looks older, I mean she looks older according to the people in her comments, and this is by no means an opinion I share. I think this is a completely normal way for a 25-year-old woman to look like, and I think everything is okay with her, and I don't agree with people criticizing her looks, and I just needed to say that. I couldn't just post the video without saying that. So yeah, it was very important for me. Thank you, and let's get back to the video. Then she posted another TikTok which was accompanied by a pretty controversial caption saying, "This is the skin of a 25-year-old woman who's lived." And people were mad at this, and I kind of get it because the implication that someone who looks young hasn't lived is a bit extreme. I will agree to that. But after seeing so many people who avoid the sun at any cost, who don't use normal straws to not get wrinkles, there are people who try to smile less just to not get smile lines on their face. Like, I kind of get it. Maybe we should be calling this out a little bit. Like, having a face without wrinkles isn't really worth smiling less and avoiding the sun, in my opinion. But the bigger problem here is that just looking older than you are entices such a strong reaction in people. I mean, she went absolutely viral with those TikToks just because people like couldn't ignore it. Like, whatever, she's 25, she looks older than 25. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Do you also remember the word face card? It was kind of trending for a while on TikTok, and people were making captions like, "When I go to tell my sister something but I'm blinded by her lethal face card," or "face card never declines." And I know that this is just a stupid TikTok word for saying that someone has a beautiful face, but it kind of underlines the fact that your face is kind of your social currency, and if you look good, if you have a beautiful face, you will be treated better in life and get get more in life. This is why looks maxing or having an elaborate skincare routine are branded as self-improvement and not just simple vanity. Because if being beautiful can guarantee better outcomes in life, then you would be stupid not to try and be as attractive as you possibly can. I'm not surprised so many Gen Z are getting filler and plastic surgery because we are being constantly convinced that this is all that matters, and it's such an easy way for the beauty industry to exploit all of us. Because with all honesty, I have absolutely no problem with people who get fillers or plastic surgery at a young age. If you've made an informed decision and you decided this is what you want, I'm really happy you had the means to do it. But I think nowadays it's really hard to make this informed decision because all the content that we see surrounding, injections, for example, shows it as like the ultimate solution to aging, and hardly anyone talks about the downsides or the side effects. So if you want to get injections or plastic surgery, just make sure to do proper research beforehand. Because to be honest with you, a few years ago, I was kind of considering getting some injections, but then I found out about like migrating filler or Botox, and I found out that it never like truly dissolves from your face like on its own, and it can stay there forever. And to be honest with you, that haunts me at night, every single night. I don't know, it's just really scary to me that I can inject something into my face and it will stay there for the rest of my life. Like for me, this is just a little bit scary, especially after seeing people's reaction to Kylie Jenner Botox or fillers migrating. Or that's at least what people were speculating that was happening, because she started looking puffy and kind of unnatural in a way. And this is just something that I think anyone who considers getting injections or plastic surgery should consider, because we know that it can be addictive. I mean, we've seen this with so many celebrities who just got so much plastic surgery that they ended up looking worse than they would if they just embraced aging. Because the truth is, no matter what products you use, no matter what injections you get, sooner or later you are going to show signs of aging. I mean, this is the inevitable consequence of being born a human being. And maybe instead of fighting to look 20 forever and maximizing our potential by becoming as attractive as possible, we should focus more on our inner worlds. Because no matter how hard you try to hold on to your youth, sooner or later it will fade, and all you'll be left with is what you've built inside yourself. And if your self-confidence is based on your objective attractiveness, without it, you'll be lost. I want to age gracefully, and by aging gracefully, I don't mean having a skincare so good you cannot tell how old I am. And I don't mean being happy that I have wrinkles because they mean I've smiled a lot. I mean being indifferent to the fact that I'm getting wrinkles, because that's just the natural way of life. The real problem isn't that we are aging or that we haven't accomplished enough. It's that we've been convinced that life is a race with a very early finish line, because 25 is really not a deadline. I'm just thinking maybe real self-improvement isn't about looking younger, being richer, or getting there faster. It's about not being so afraid of time passing by. So don't worry if you're 25 and you haven't accomplished everything. You still have time. Like really, we are just 25. It's really not that old. We can still do everything we want to. But let me know what you think about this whole topic. Do you feel the same way? Because I've struggled with this a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I've struggled with when I was turning 25. For a moment, I was like, oh my God, like I haven't done anything. And then I realized I have so much time. I have so much time till I turn 30. Like, it's crazy. There's really no reason to worry about it so much. So let me know what you think about it in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.